Hi guys, how are you? Okay, so you guys know I've been covering. I like to cover the latest main big trials that's going on. We just did Jesse Smollett. We did Gabby Petito before that. I did another one. I plan on doing the Alex Baldwin trial in Astro World, and those start sometime next year. But right now, the next big trial is going to be the Tory Lanez and Megan the Stallion. So let me go ahead, play my intro, allow more people into the room, and I'll tell you guys. Then we'll get into what went down today. Hi guys, how are you? Hey Perry.
What's up?
Hey Gabor.
What's good?
This is not going to be a long video at all. The reason why I chose this trial next is because I chose Jesse Smollett because I thought what Jesse did could have caused major damage. It could have been a race war. It was just ridiculous. It made the LGBTQ community look bad. So that's why I chose that case. I always tell you why I choose these cases. I'm choosing this case is because I'm tired of men putting their hands on women, taking advantage of women. DV. That's why I'm doing this trial. It makes no sense, especially in this situation. Now, those for the of you and my audience that are not familiar with the rap world, Tory Lanez is a rapper. I would say not superstar, but maybe almost there. What do you think, Gabor?
Who?
Tory Lanez.
Megan is Tory
Oh,
Lanez.
Tory.
Not Megan. Tory.
I don't know a song.
Yeah, he's up and coming. Let's put it this way. Let me put his picture up here.
He's been a while for a minute though. He's from Canada.
He's from Canada. Here's a picture of him. He had a couple hits. You know, he's not Drake. But he's worked with Drake, huh? I'll put it that way. But Megan the Stallion, she is the it girl of the moment. Megan the Stallion. I think she even won a Grammy before. She's a Grammy Award. Huh?
She won 3.
She won 3. Oh, excuse me. She won 3 Grammy Awards. So she's a Grammy Award winning rapper. Happened to be one of my favorites. That's why I'm extra mad because I really like her. She's also let's see if I have a picture here. I would say how do I describe her? One of what's her name? What's that girl's name? The Kardashian sisters, best friends. They're pretty good friends. What's her name? Why am I going blank? What's
Kylie?
Kylie Jenner. Okay, one of Kylie Jenner's friends.
They was friends.
Yeah.
I don't think they're friends no more.
They're not friends now?
Kylie and Megan?
Yeah.
You know, this all happened leaving Kylie house.
Right, I was getting to that, yeah. But they're not friends? Do you know what happened?
Supposedly, he was trying to holler at Kylie at their house.
Oh, wow. This is a mess. This is a mess. Okay, so let me talk about the trial.
And she got mad. Megan got mad that he was trying to holler at him, and Kylie put him out because they started fighting over there.
That's what the argument was about. Okay, let me get into this.
That's what I heard.
Okay, so Kylie Jenner. Oh boy, but she was in Kylie Jenner was in Megan's video, and they were starting to be good friends, and they got into this argument. And up until today, they wouldn't say, I didn't know what the argument was about. But according to Gabor, the argument was about Tory, sleazy Tory, trying to holler at Megan. So Kylie. Anyway, so today,
holler at Kylie.
And that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah. He's messy. He is messy. He's 29 years old.
And he 5'3". He 5'3".
Yeah, he's 5'3". That's important to know.
Yeah, that's half his problem.
If I'm gonna put up with some mess from a man, you got to be a lot taller than 5'3". But anyway, so they got into an argument at Kylie's house, Kylie Jenner, and so today they went in the detectives went in front of the grand jury to see if they had enough evidence to go to trial. So the detectives testified today. What was told to them at the scene? So what happened? But before I tell what happened, I'll play the video later. So according to the detective, his name is Stogne. Don't ask me how to pronounce that.
Stogner.
Okay, you got it. What is it?
Stogner.
Okay. Megan, Tory Lane and Megan were arguing. He was standing on outside the SUV on that little stool thing. He was pointing the gun at her and he said, "Dance, be dance."
What?
I'm not making this up. And then
like
he
the B
shot
is
her.
the abbreviation, right?
Huh? Yeah, B.
The
Okay.
B, okay.
You know what B stands for.
Yeah,
right?
I get it.
Dance, bitch, dance. And then he shot her.
Wow.
I want to show you a picture of the wound. He shot her in the foot. You guys see that?
Who the hell do you think he is?
I don't know. He shot her in the foot. She fell to the ground and was crawling on the ground when the police drove up. Okay. Now, when they asked her at the time what happened, she said, oh God, let me go over her testimony. She didn't tell them the truth. She lied. She said she lied to them because he was a black man. She didn't even tell him that he had a gun in the car. This was right after one of the I gotta find the testimony so I can know what I'm talking about.
The protest. She lied. She said that she didn't want the police. She felt like that if she told the police that he had a gun and he had shot her, that they would have opened fire on the vehicle. Which is I don't believe she thought that.
Well, and you know what?
Why
I don't
wouldn't she
give a
tell
damn
them?
she thought it or not. You shoot me in the foot, open fire, damn it.
I don't care damn what they do to you.
Yeah, open fire. Yeah.
She didn't say anything at the time, and then he denied doing it at the time. Then later on, she came out and said it was him. Now, she describes being shocked, being hurt because they were dating. She says they were dating at the time. He says they were just friends. It doesn't matter. You shot her.
He also was messing with her friend that was in the car, Kelsey.
Okay, yeah. So
He
okay.
messing with every damn body.
He just throwing that thing everywhere.
Yeah.
He was really messing with Kelsey.
He's supposed to have been messing with Kelsey first, and Megan backdoored him. And Kelsey said that ain't the first time Megan backdoored him.
So, I mean, where is he from? Canada, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And he think his popularity is that much where he can say, dance, bitch, dance, and trying to pull up on Kylie and
I can't
everybody
believe
else.
It. Yeah.
Come on now. Wow.
Anyway, so according to the Stogner, is that his name? Yes, it's Stogner. That's his name. He couldn't really get much out of Megan that night. Tory is saying he didn't do it. Oh, and let me tell you what his real name is. This is crazy. His rap name is Tory Lanez. That doesn't sound too crazy. His real name is Daystar Shamuel Shrew Peterson.
Oh, wow. He can't be a rapper with that name.
That's what his name.
You get the short that shit.
It's his real name, huh?
You get the short shit.
He denied that. So he denied that. So as he said that, but eventually Megan told him, and I got to get this part because I should have highlighted it. He yelled out in court at during the during the detective's testimony. And I didn't put out what he said. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. Hold on, because this is crazy. He observed when he came up, Peterson holding the firearm in his hand, and Megan on the ground. She crawled over to him. He said there was blood dripping off, dripping from her foot.
Mm-hmm.
She lied, said I can't get this explanation she gave him. But she said he didn't do it, and she didn't know what happened that night, but later she told the truth. Then the opposing attorney asked him, oh God, did Megan tell you at some point that there was an argument between her and Tory? He says, I'm not aware of that. So she never told him the truth that night.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember her saying that Tory bringing that up? She didn't talk about that. She didn't talk about the party. She really just acted like she didn't know it was wrong. And it was at one point they didn't even know that she was shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was just walking around. When she walked away, she was limping. That's how they discovered that she was shot. So later on, Tory's side of the story is they got into an argument because the girlfriend, Kelsey Harris, who was in the car, was jealous of Megan in his relationship. So Megan and Tory got to arguing. And when Megan got out the car, he was arguing with Harris, and somehow the gun went off. He was just trying to help his girlfriend. Now, this is not going to hold up in court. Because if Kelsey and Megan are saying that you shot me, I don't understand how I didn't shoot you, the gun went off is going to hold water. I mean, to me, just up front, it doesn't sound like it's going to hold water. But it held enough water for the judge to agree that they could go to trial, and the trial's going to start January 13th. If he's convicted, he's facing 22 years. Because he's already on probation.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
I don't see how this is going to hold up. Megan is saying you shot me.
How is he protecting her? Who shoots the person they protected?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My first question, right? Mm-hmm. But how tall is Megan? Because I always thought she was taller than, I always imagined she was 5'10".
No, she's 6'4".
Huh, Megan?
No, I'm playing. She's 5'10".
Terry, what part isn't straight? Let me know.
Huh?
She's coming.
Because I'm about ready to say, because if she's 6'4", even 5'10", she gonna let this little motherfucker 5'3" shoot her in the foot?
Listen, Bunny brought up a point. He is from Canada. If he's convicted, he can get deported like Joe Giudice back to his country.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Megan says he was drunk that night. So Megan went on and did an interview when she told what happened. She didn't say what they were arguing about. I have a tendency to agree with Gabor, and it doesn't matter what they was arguing about. You have no right to shoot me.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Little man syndrome. Like you take on a woman and not a man. But she said that they were arguing that night. He got mad, and he did say, and she did later on tell the police that he said, "Dance, bitch, dance."
Thanks. Now, come on up. Look, you know what? No person tell you that. And Megan, I heard of her name, but she comes across as a girl that got more confidence than maybe I'm giving her. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this little motherfucking midget gonna come up? I mean, I'm sorry, not midget. Sorry, wrong word. 5'3". Come up to you and tell you to dance, bitch, dance.
He must have had.
What are you trying to say, Perry?
No. I'm saying this. He must feel like for a person to tell you that for real, they either get to know you and figure out your boundaries, and then you got low self-esteem or whatever, right? No man tells a woman, dance, bitch, dance, unless he feel like he had it that way.
What are you saying?
Well, no, I'm saying like nobody just
You
ran
saying he did
along.
it? He must have did it before. What are you saying? What are you saying?
No. I'm not saying he did it before,
Mm.
but it's something about her personality that him knowing her, he felt that he could say this and get away with it.
Maybe Southern Charm is right. Maybe you're saying he doesn't respect her.
Right. Well, no. Yeah, and it's something that she had to do, have done, him hanging around her for him to feel this way.
Gabor,
Because
what do
you
you
know
think?
what though? I mean, you don't walk up and say, "Man, I'll slap the shit out of you," and you don't know what that person's about. If you figure that person's weak
Uh-huh.
or whatever, you might
Uh-huh.
say, "I'm gonna slap the shit out of you," because you knowing that person is weak. Who says dance, bitch, dance?
Yeah, that was out
Who
of
the hell are
line.
you? And you 5'3".
Mm-hmm.
He'll be dancing. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like I mean, he had to feel like he had the power to say that. Maybe she give him too much glory. Maybe he think he's bigger than what he is.
That could be true.
Right?
Yeah, I want to talk about what Press Fee is saying that she lied about it many times. Do you? She said she did it because he was a black male. He had a gun in the car, and she didn't want the police. But what if she was just scared of him?
Or what if
And that will lead to what you're saying. Maybe he didn't had other outbursts. He might have not have shot her before, but maybe he was controlling.
Or maybe she figured that she, she won 3 Grammys, like you said, or whatever, right? Maybe she wasn't feeling as confident as she may come across, right? And thought that he was her meal ticket, that he was the promise from Drake being from Canada. I don't know. Something. It had to be something where she thought he was more powerful than what his short ass is.
I think that sometimes nowadays, it happens all the time where women get into these relationships or sexual relationships, somebody that they're dealing with, and a man put their hands on them and they end up lying for them. But I just can't imagine myself getting shot in the foot and worried about what the police might do to the person who shot me.
Yeah.
If he, if they kill him, oh well, he shot me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It also goes to show that it makes it seem like that Black people are thinking every time they have an encounter with the police that it can end in death.
Right.
I wanted to address Shirley. She didn't shoot herself in the foot. He shot her. He shot her with a semi-automatic firearm. I don't know I'm not into guns, but anything with the word automatic means danger to me. Like that's
yeah. It's like semi being conscious. I mean, when you can just keep going and keep firing.
Yeah. He's also charged with 1 count of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and 1 count of carrying a loaded unregistered. Oh, he's in trouble. Unregistered firearm in a vehicle following the altercation. I mean, he's in trouble. You're not even allowed to have that gun, let alone shoot somebody.
Right.
I wonder I'm going to cover this trial. I wonder if it's going to come out that he was emotionally controlling over here. I see what you're saying, Perry. People just don't wake up out the blue and shoot people for no reason. This has to be something that took place before.
He feels that she needs him,
but he was
more than he need her. But she should have been shooting him in the foot because he need her.
I don't think that the relationship was that deep because he was messing with her friend too. He was messing with both girls that was in the car.
Even if it wasn't that deep, Gabor, he had some kind of subconscious thought that he could do this and she would lie for him.
He felt like he was the guy that wrote, what's that Hotline song or whatever from Drake? He feel like he's the person that produced that.
Bling.
Yeah. You ain't got no bling, motherfucker.
Wow.
But he's feeling like he do.
So this is what I think happened. I think that they went to Kylie's house. They was in the pool.
Yeah, they were on Instagram in the pool because I seen it that day. Go ahead.
He was up on Kylie, and Megan kept on telling him to back up. And then they left, and then they was in the car and they was arguing. And then they found out, the girl. I don't think that the friend knew at the time that Megan was messing with the man. But she was getting upset over there at Kylie house because they was having sex. You know, they wasn't in a relationship, but they was having sex. You know, you ain't my gal, but we spoon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think Kylie Jenner's gonna testify? Because it started at her house. She has to.
You know, what's the calling about to let her testify?
You don't think she has to testify because she has to talk about what she's seen before they left her house.
But Chris gonna probably get that thrown out.
You think Kris Jenner won't let Kylie testify?
No, not at all.
You ain't involved in that gutter shit. That gutter ass shit. Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you can't deny the fact that it started at Kylie Jenner's house. She could testify to if he was drunk or not. This is just a lot. Super Chat says, this topic is deep for me. Why are Black women not protected by Black men anymore? I mean, I think DV comes in all races. Just that, and it's just, I don't know what's wrong with some men. Well,
these guys feel like they got the power. I mean, it could be whether you're a rapper, you work for Amazon, and your lady don't work. They feel like they got control because they control the finances.
Hey, Trav.
Trav is messy.
Yeah, Trav.
So let me tell you, remember how they said that Kris Jenner had an affair with OJ? So Trav says Kylie Jenner Simpson. Ain't getting it too. Chris, okay. So he's saying that Kylie probably won't testify either. I think she will, but anyway.
Probably not.
Yeah.
They don't put themselves out that way. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime they can chance it. Oh, I didn't see anything. I don't know. I didn't see anything. You can't have that kind of person testify that didn't see a damn thing when they did.
Right.
She's not on trial.
But it started at her house.
It started at her house.
Megan 5'10". Megan was probably getting the best of them.
And I remember that night. Everything was on social media. I remember that night clearly because I was watching them on Instagram. They were in the pool. They were drinking. Everybody was drinking, Kylie included. And they were talking and everybody was joking around and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. Let's see what Lola has to say. Hey, Lola.
Hey, guys. Sorry. Can you guys give me 2 seconds? I think I'm getting it echoed. I just want to. Sorry.
Do you think that Travis could say that the gun misfired?
I don't think so because I've shot guns before, and maybe Perry, I know you were in the military, so maybe you might be able to comment better on this. But the guns I've shot, there's a safety on there. When you're not ready to shoot, you usually have the safety on at all times.
Oh wow! See,
most guns aren't misfiring. He shot her ass in the foot.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because like I always make sure to have a safety on. If I'm not shooting it at the shooting range, the safety is on. And then for me, I also wanted to mention that congratulations to her. I mean, what an accomplishment for her to have a rap career and graduate from school. It's amazing. I know her mother and her grandmother must be elated. And
that's also too. Her mom. Naomi, what did you say?
Megan Thee Stallion sacrificed her mom. Like right when she got famous, everyone was talking about it when she signed to Jay-Z.
She did what?
Apparently, she sacrificed her mom. Like a lot of these people who get famous.
Oh, you're talking about Illuminati. Like Illuminati.
Yeah, like right before she blew up, her mom died. Wow. But I was calling to say, like, I'm from the same city as Tory Lanez. He literally had the biggest crush on me when I was like in grade 6, and I used to call him Jimmy Neutron because his head was like so big.
Okay, so you know Tory Lanez, right?
Yeah.
Is he really 5'2"?
Yes, he is so small. Like even when I was in grade 6, he was like 2 feet shorter than me. That's why I never gave him like the chance a day or like took him serious because he was so little. But he's like a big cheese ball. He's like super corny. He's not like violent, and he's really small.
He's not the type of person that'll slap that shit out of a woman. You're saying
no.
Well, why was the gun in his hand? He shot her. Do you think he could be telling the truth?
I heard that they didn't find any gun residue on him.
He had the gun in his hands when the police pull them over.
But maybe he never fired it, because if there wasn't any gunpowder on his hands and he didn't fire it, maybe he could have been handling it. That to me doesn't look like a gunshot wound. Like, I don't believe Megan at all.
You don't believe Megan?
Are you
Wait, hold on, let
biased
him talk.
because you know? Are you biased because you know Tory?
A little bit. Like, I just don't see him.
I mean, because I don't know if he was 2 feet shorter than you, but it seemed like you got a crush on him. I'm saying this, right? Has he denied not having a gun?
You know, he didn't deny not having a gun, but he said it misfired. And
No. He's saying, did it misfire while it was in his hand, or did it misfire while Tory was holding?
Okay, this is also another reason why I don't believe her, and it's from my own personal experience. Like, I got into a fight with my child's father's ex one time, and I beat her up, and she was fighting me with no shoes on, and she ended up cutting her foot on something. And then the next day, a bunch of people were coming up to me telling me that Jasmine was saying that I stabbed her in the foot. And I'm like,
well, I get it. But
I'm
did
like,
you
I
deny?
beat her up. She's obviously mad, but she cut her foot. And I'm like, if I was going to stab someone, it wouldn't be in the bottom of the foot. Like, that's where
this
she got
doesn't look
shot.
like a gun wound to you, Naomi?
Yeah, that does. That does look. Is there?
Okay.
No,
hold
that
on,
looks
hold
like a slice.
What does it look like?
It looks like a cut. Like, there's stitches. It looks like it's a couple inches long.
This is going to be a hell of a case, because a lot of people probably think like Naomi.
Sharrell, just one question. Naomi, you do understand that her mother was battling cancer for years, right? Like, before she passed? Like,
I remember Megan Stallion before she was super blew up, when she was just Tina Snow and she was going to college in Houston. Like, she never said anything about her mom having cancer. So
everybody
You just put her on blast.
Yeah, but let me just say this. My father had cancer for 4 years, and I never told people that he had cancer. I didn't tell my friends. I didn't tell the people in my college he had cancer, because it was just something that was private.
No, of course. I just don't believe in coincidences when it comes to celebrities that are winning.
May I finish? Because this is the problem. Like, you know, just like how Virgil passed away from cancer and his battle was private, nobody knew. Some people don't put, you know, those sensitive topics out. So it's, you know, you have to understand that not everybody is oversharing like some of the other people that you might like.
Oh,
Let me ask you this,
Chadwick
Naomi.
Boseman as well. Chadwick Boseman hid his colon cancer until we only found out after he died.
Let me ask you this, Naomi. What do you think happened?
Honestly,
why would
I
she
think that,
accuse him of doing that
I
if he didn't?
Yeah, I think that something happened that they're not telling us. Like, we're obviously missing a part of the story. I don't know why she's going so hard on Tory. Like, it doesn't even make sense. She's like 6 foot. He's like so short. Like, she would have been able to defend herself even if he had a gun. Like, his arms are like so short compared to hers. Like, she'd be able to slap the gun out of his hand or something. Like, I just don't see him shooting her. And if he did, it must have been from really far away, because that bullet looks like it's like a slice on her leg. Like, there's something
maybe he wasn't good at aiming, and that's the only part he could hit, right?
Yeah, most people aren't good at aiming.
Is it any place in this little court thing or this whole thing that he said that he didn't shoot the gun?
Yeah, he did. He said he didn't do it.
She could have shot herself.
Oh.
He said she shot herself.
Yeah, she could have.
No, not could have. What have he said?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm just watching.
No.
From you guys.
Let's not go back to high school when you dated him. When he was
never dated him. I was in middle school.
Carrie, stop. She didn't say she dated him.
Oh, my bad.
We were just in middle school back then. But no, I'm saying like that could have happened. Like, she could have somehow got a hold of the gun and it could have discharged. Like, we don't know what happened. But typically people don't shoot other people in the foot.
Right, I get it, right? But if you was going in front of the judge, right, and they trying to see if they need to proceed with this, wouldn't you have not said, hey, you know what? All this, I never shot her.
Well, he did.
He said he never shot her?
Do it.
No. He said it misfired.
Well, yeah, right.
No. Big difference. Mm-hmm. I'm holding the gun and I didn't pull the trigger. It misfired.
But I heard that there's no gunpowder on his hands, and they would have tested it the night he got arrested. Like that's a huge red flag
But he
that he
does
didn't
have
fire a gun.
fingerprints on the actual weapon. So
He did have the actual weapon in his hand.
so like there's his fingerprints on it. So
Right.
like, the thing
Of
about it with Tory Lanez, okay, so let's talk about Tory Lanez history with abuse.
Oh.
Okay, because this is not the first encounter. During the beginning of the pandemic, he asked a girl to beat up another girl. So he asked Caitlin Garcia to beat up Selena Powell and run her out of his condo down in Miami. Then Dream Doll alluded, because he dated Dream Doll 2 years prior, and she made a whole diss record about him.
He dated Trina too. Trina liked him.
He dated Trina too?
Yeah, I was
He
in
dated
Toronto with
Trina.
him a few years ago. He was all over Trina. They were dating.
So a lot of these women have alluded or have said that Tory is very aggressive, has abusive nature to him. And I'm forgetting the girl's name he dated prior to Dream Doll, but he dated another. His baby mama said that he was abusive as well. So he has a history of abuse in and out of the industry. So it's like when I heard it, I wasn't surprised. And then number two, I just think that we always, whenever a Black woman in particular says that they're hurt or a man did something to them, just like little Black girls say that a man did something to them when they're younger, it's like, what could have you done to stop it? Or what was your part in it? Instead of just listening to this Black girl or this Black woman, you're trying to find ways to poke at her and figure out, what did she do? How could she avoided it? And what did she do? Maybe she did it to herself. And it's so problematic. Like, let the justice system do their thing, but let's give Megan grace, because if you are a woman of color or a Black woman or just a woman who has been through something, you understand how it feels when people do not believe you. When it
That's right.
If she was Black or white, I would still think the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Whether she's a woman, but see, especially in the Black community, like if you look at the statistics from the FBI and the CDC, the main cause of Black women, going to transitioning is from homicide, and it's from DV and other things. So you need to not only, like, we have to like try to listen and give more grace. I'm not trying to. I don't know.
What about innocent until proven guilty?
But there's so many things that are leading to him not.
No, that's not true. There's rumors. You're saying there's rumors about him getting somebody to beat somebody up. The only credible source I would say is from his baby moms, which obviously there was probably some problems in their relationship. But like, that's what happens in any relationship. So we can't judge him off of what happened when he was with his baby mom.
Not in relationship. I have
with his baby moms from when he was 17. He was like young when he was with his baby moms. His baby moms is from Brampton, where I'm from. It's not like they were in an adult relationship.
At the same time, I've had relationships as a teenager. I haven't had a man put their hands on me.
Well, that's
relationships
a lot of people are.
But let me say this, Bunny. I think that Naomi's coming from a different place because she knows him. She's been around him. And have you ever been around someone and someone accuses them of something, you just don't see it because you see a different side?
Okay, so one thing about me, when somebody tells me something, like if a woman tells me something in particular, because I've grown up around people that have been abused, that have been through a lot of different things with men. So, and I would see how this man is being constantly invited, and it didn't feel right when I was younger. When I got old enough to separate myself, I did. I separated myself and watched from the outside looking in. And some of the things that the people would say about this individual, I would see the behavior. So for me, I separate myself from that, because it's like, no matter how much you love a person, like it could be a male family member or a male friend, it's just not okay, because just because it's not happening to you doesn't mean that could be you one day. It could be you one day.
Bunny, 1 second. Bunny, I just want to say one thing, because I keep seeing people say something. Guys, people who are victims of domestic violence sometimes lie and actually protect their abuser. That is a proven fact. They do that time and time again.
All the time.
It's a psychological manipulation type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So stop saying
Tory
she
wasn't
lied.
abusing
Let's not,
her.
hold on.
Tory wasn't abusing her. They weren't in a serious relationship. She would have no reason to do that. That's not the type of situation.
But I'm
agreeing not like
with Bunny.
She's like an abused woman.
And don't forget, Lola. Naomi's coming from a different place. She knows.
No, I understand where she's coming from. But like Bunny said, let's give the justice system time to work it out. If he's innocent, then he'll come out innocent. But we're not going to just discredit Megan either.
You're talking about like beating woman syndrome where they're scared to say anything. They were not in a relationship. Megan was not in a relationship with Tory. There's no way Tory was beating on her and traumatized her to the fact that she was
not.
They were friends. That's still a relationship, an acquaintance, situationship, whatever it was. That's still a relationship.
Okay, so you think that Megan was scared and that's why she's lying about what happened the first 7 times?
Hold on, Naomi, because Nay's been sitting here a while. Nay, what did you want to add to the conversation?
I just wanted to add, I do see both sides, because if I got shot in the foot, if I have police in my presence, I'm not gonna lie about the person that shot me in the foot. But I just want to say, first I want to confirm, all of us on here are Black women, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I just wanted to say that I have
We're all
never,
women of color. We're all women of color, though.
Okay, women of color. I've only seen instances where a Black woman would say she was abused or hurt by any type of man, and not everybody rallies around her. And that's the only issue that I have. I'm gonna say yes, let's let it play out in court, because I don't know what happened. Honestly, what I think what happened is I think Megan beat his ass and he got mad and he shot her. That's what I think. That's really what I think. I think she was beating on him. She probably got mad because
you think Megan was beating on him.
See, that's a good possible scenario as well.
I think that she got mad because he was being a guy going around flirting, trying to holler at Kylie or whatever. So when they got in private, I think she started beating on him, and I think he got mad. She probably got the best of him. And I know so many men who are short. When I tell you small man syndrome is a thing, like,
it's a real thing.
It is a thing. They have to compensate for their lack of height. It really is an insecurity. And so I think when she was beating on him, he felt very insecure, and he pulled out that gun and he shot her. Why she would lie about that, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But my only issue is this.
Can I ask you a question?
Every time
did it graze her foot? Did it graze her foot, or did the bullet go into her foot? I'm not sure on that. Did it graze it, or did it go in?
No, I believe
it looked like it grazed.
From the looks of the picture, it looked like it went in there.
That does not look like a bullet wound to me.
That looks grazed.
It could be a graze. It could be a graze.
This was after it was shot. This was after it was stitched up.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
I think it went in. It looked like it went in for me. But I just wanted to make this point. And I'm speaking specifically to Naomi. I understand you might have a history with this guy. I understand all that. And if I have a loved one that's being, I just wanted to point this out. Every time I have seen a woman who was not of color, have these type of issues, everybody rallies around her. And it's not the same for women of color. And that's my issue. I do believe in innocent until proven guilty. But when it comes to domestic violence in general, especially if it's a woman of color, I'm going to say guilty until proven innocent.
So I just want to say something, that Tory is like a well-known genius. Like, he's really smart. Even from back when I was a kid with him, like, he was known for his smarts. The reason why he got so far in the industry is because of his intelligence. And I do not think that he would be stupid enough to make a decision like that to shoot Megan, no matter what happened. Like, he's been through a lot in the industry already.
Hey, Miss Mona.
Like, I don't get why, like, that would just... something either would have happened to make him do it, or if that even happened, like, I just don't believe the situation. It's not because it's Megan. It's not because she's a Black woman. It's just because it doesn't add up.
Naomi, I think people are trying to say
why does he have a history
of him yet?
Hold on 1 second.
Right. And why does he have a history of aggressive behavior?
But he doesn't have a history of aggressive behavior.
Yes, he does. He has so many police reports out on him. Please use Google, please.
He has police reports for gun possessions and marijuana possessions.
That too, and DV. He has it for DV.
I just have a question for Naomi.
Okay, hold on, Bunny. Let the other bunny talk. Coco Bunny, go ahead.
Okay, Naomi, I just want to know,
I'm listening.
Oh,
Go ahead. Coco Bunny?
okay. I just wanted to know this. I want to know, how do you think she's got that wound? I mean, what do you think
Anything.
happened to her foot? That's what I want to know.
Hold on
Honestly,
one second. Hold on one second. Everybody else go on mute because somebody has a TV or something in the
Oh,
background.
sorry, that's mine.
Okay, go ahead, Naomi. Answer her question.
I think that anything could have happened, and the fact that she changed her story so much is not helping her case. I don't know what happened. If there wasn't any gunpowder residue on his hand, then it's going to be very hard to prove that he shot her. Like, if they got a bullet out, then okay, that's good. There was bullet to prove it, but was there a bullet recovered at the scene? Was there ever did they check his gun to see if it had been fired recently? Like, that's all the evidence that I'm looking to see. Like, physical evidence that would connect him to shooting her. That's what I need to see.
Hey, Kobe.
Well, listen, I appreciate you
I just think in
Go ahead, Nay.
I just think in cases like this, I think the wrong thing to do is to say, well, you know what, I know this guy I have a history with this guy. I don't believe Megan. Only reason why I say that is because there are a lot of women who literally deal with this on a daily basis who are scared to speak up.
I think it's
and so I think the wrong.
Let me say this, Nate. I think it's natural if you know somebody and you know them to be a different
to defend them.
Yeah, to come forward and say that's not the person I know. She's not saying he didn't do it. She's saying I know a different side. I can't see him doing this. She said I can't see him doing this.
You know,
right, but don't discredit Megan. Don't discredit Megan and say, well, she sacrificed her mom. I didn't hear nothing about her mom having cancer. I had cancer for 4 years. I didn't even tell my best friend.
Right.
Until I was in remission. You know, like, I'm just saying, don't discredit the other person. If you want to have his back because you know him, you have a history with him, that's fine. But don't discredit what the other person is saying because you were not there and you don't know for sure.
But they're both defending themselves. It's he say, she say.
I mean, for you to say that somebody would sacrifice their own mother, that's horrible.
Honestly, it's not what I am saying. It's a huge rumor that's all over the internet.
But why would you even?
Because I believe it. I believe it. That's my opinion.
The mother had cancer for years.
I don't believe that.
I
don't believe that.
Okay, so since you're a Tory apologist and a person who's
Bunny,
I'm not a Tory.
Hold on. Bunny, you can't get mad for someone having a different opinion.
I'm just saying, show me the evidence.
I would love to speak.
Show me the physical evidence. I understand you guys all have your opinions over rumors that you've heard about him, but show me the physical evidence that Tory shot her. That's all I'm saying. Because when it comes to things that I know, I don't see it happening. But
let's see what Kendra has to say. Kendra, what do you have to add to this conversation?
I just have to say, just because you went to middle school with somebody does not mean you still know them. If you walk down the street, he wouldn't even recognize you today.
Yes, he would. I
went to school. I dated Donald Driver in middle school. I just seen him
3 years ago.
Do you think he remember me?
I just seen him like 3 years ago.
Excuse me. You
at a club?
Yes, I gave him a hug. I said, "Hey, Tory, you remember me, right?" He said, "Yeah, of course." I'm like, "Oh, it's so good to see you." That's when I seen him with Trina, and they were all over each other.
That does not mean that you know him.
They did date, and
the Diamond Princess.
Pardon?
The Diamond Princess?
Yeah, she was literally wearing sparkle and stuff that makes it. But
no, Trina.
She didn't say anything bad about him.
Trina, no.
You went to middle school with him, dear. You went to middle school with him, dear. You do not know him.
I never went to middle school with him. I know him from when I was in middle school. We used to go to house parties together.
15, 20 years ago?
I'm 27 now, so yeah.
Okay, you don't know what type of person he's become.
I know. Okay, I know his
Kendra, you dated Donald Driver from Houston?
Yes.
You from Houston too?
I'm from Houston, yes.
All right.
Donald Driver.
He's a football player.
Oh, okay.
Wait, but I would remember you.
He wouldn't remember me.
I'm sure he would.
Wait, can I just say something to Naomi really quick? I understand what you're coming from because you say you know him and you're trying to defend him. But I think what everyone else is trying to say is that don't just discredit Megan all the way just because you know the other party. Like, you have to listen to both sides equally and allow the justice system with the evidence that comes in to do its part.
I think that if Megan had kept her story straight from the beginning, then I would have been listening to her a lot louder. But I feel like there's a lot of discrepancies in her story about what happened, and the evidence is not supporting what she's saying. So that's why I have a hard time supporting what she's saying.
Naomi,
and I will be honest. I think it's crazy.
Everybody, wait, ho. I don't want everybody beating up on Naomi for having her opinion.
Well,
I just wanted to speak real quick.
I'm a great debater. Sorry.
Anymore.
You lost all credibility when you said she killed her mother.
Well, okay, but everybody has their opinion, so I don't want her to feel attacked, and you guys are going in.
No. So this is the thing. I'm not attacking her, but my issue with her is that, like, the simple fact, I don't know if you know any survivors of DV.
I'm a survivor of domestic violence.
Okay, so, you know,
they weren't in a relationship. So
okay.
like, that's irrelevant.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, though, did your community rally behind you and try to, you know, get you in a better space, and people were, had empathy and sympathy for you? Did people not believe you right away? Like, I just want to know, because the thing about it is that
for me, I would never lie about it. If some MF was going to put their hands on me, everyone's going to know the truth. There's no way I would lie about it. There's no way, unless there was something to hide.
Everybody's different in that respect.
Exactly.
So there's so many women, especially women of color, that are too afraid to, relive their experience.
But she was not dating him, so that's not.
Okay, hold on. Let me end this here because I got a long line. Naomi, I want you to stay on the line. Bunny, thank you for calling in. I see you're passionate. You're a long-time caller. I appreciate you. And I see where you're coming from. Let me just get a new panel because this is getting kind of heated. And we've been on 15 minutes and other people are waiting.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you,
Bunny.
I appreciate it. You know what, Naomi? I'm going to pray for you, and I hope you get it.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Nate, for calling, and I appreciate the call.
Bye, Nate.
Gabor, I'm going to pray for you.
Thank you. Kendra, did you want to add anything else to the conversation before I bring in a new panel?
Just that I'm gonna pray for Naomi and hope she gets some help.
Let's pray for all of us. Let's pray.
Hallelujah. Is that your picture, Kendra?
Yes, ma'am.
Really pretty. Really pretty. Thank you
Thank
for calling
you.
in. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Love.
Oh, thank you. Naomi, just realize everyone's opinionated and passionate.
No, I love it.
But I
really
want you to talk because you did know him. So let me bring in some more callers. Hold on. Hi, Tori. Can you hear me, Tori?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me bring in another person. Hi, DW Beauty. How are you?
Hello.
And one more. Let me see here. Let me pick. Hi, Lord. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's start with you, Tori. What did you want to add to the conversation?
I just think that there's inconsistencies on both parts. Like, as far as Megan goes, it's just confusing because her best friend was in the car. There was a security guard in the car. So if someone had been shot and then cops showed up, it's just weird that no one was like, oh my God, she was shot, you know?
Seriously.
But then again, Tori still hasn't come out and said, I did not shoot her. I didn't have a gun. He's kind of skated around it. Like his whole, he made a whole album about it. And
he did.
He never adamantly denied it, you know?
Yeah.
So
what about you, DW? What did you want to add?
I wanted to say I was following this case very closely when it happened. And they did find bullet fragments in her foot. Now, I think he must have shot the floor, the pavement. And it bounced off her foot.
That looks more accurate. Like,
yeah, I agree.
They found bullet fragments in her foot. So he or whoever definitely aimed at her foot.
So let me ask you, DW Beauty, could it have been, we don't know, we're speculating, the trial hasn't even begun, that he shot at the ground?
Yes, I think he was being, a jerk and playing with her and trying to have that power ego that he probably has. And, and he was drunk probably, and he shot at the floor and it hit her. And I think she was in shock. I really do think she was in shock when it happened.
Yeah,
Was
I would
she
be.
barefoot?
She was barefoot in walking out the car, and
She was barefoot.
while she was walking out, he
Mm.
did that, and that's what happened.
You know how when you leave a party, you take off your heels because your feet hurt
Exactly.
by the end of the night? It's probably one of those
Exactly.
situations. That's why she had her shoes off.
I think they'll be able to tell the trajectory of the bullet, like from which angle it hit. But also in that scenario, she could have had the gun and fired it down to the floor, like maybe even accidentally, and it could have hit her foot like that.
But the back of the foot does not make sense. If it was
Well,
maybe
that's true.
the side, the back does not make sense. If I shoot myself, why is it all the way back there? It doesn't make sense.
No, I mean like to the side. She could be standing. She could have shot anywhere from 90-degree angle from the side of her at any point angle. So it could have been to her back. It could have been to her front.
I don't know.
Let's see what Lord Love Smith. What do you have to add to the conversation?
Okay, so my whole take on this, there's a lot of things that's being left out. Let me first start by asking a few questions here. Are any of you guys familiar with standard police operating procedure when they respond to the call of a shooting?
No.
Can anybody guess the first thing they do?
What?
First thing they do on the site, in event of a shooting, they show up, they locate the victims who are shot, then they detain the suspect, right?
But if you listen to today's testimony, they didn't even know she was shot. She didn't even say anything for a while.
Okay.
They had to look down and see the blood. Like she didn't say, I'm shot, I'm shot. She was just talking to them.
She was
like,
just
I don't know.
to them. Okay, so let me give you a bit of my background. I have extensive background in firearms, explosives. I was in the army. I've treated a lot of gunshot wounds as a combat medic. So that picture that you showed right there, that's not a gunshot wound.
Let me put it back up. You don't think it's a gunshot wound?
That's not a gunshot wound.
Even I know that from
gunshot wounds. I've seen
it's a gunshot room like round and like
it would have an entering trajectory, but this right here, this looks like glass or something. This is not a gunshot wound. So let's start there. And next thing, right? So for example, police show up at the scene. However, Tories get detained. You know what's the next thing they're gonna do next when he's detained? They're gonna swab his hands for gunpowder residue. Right. They're gonna swab his clothes. They're gonna swab the car everywhere. And this is California. They don't take gun violence lightly in California, especially with an unregistered firearm, guys. This entire thing absolutely just makes no sense. No sense whatsoever.
Well, what do you think happened?
It makes no sense. That's what I'm saying.
What do you think happened, Lord?
What I think happened was a lot of alcohol, drugs involved. People lose their temper. She might have kicked the glass out based on the scarring. I think she kicked the glass and she has some cut on her feet. I saw somebody mention it depends on the caliber. Even a 22 caliber still is gonna have a entering wound. That's not a bullet wound.
How do you explain the bullet fragments then in her foot that they found?
Good question.
They found bullet fragments in her foot.
Yes, they did.
Bullet fragments in her foot. Nah.
That's
they're running an extensive PR campaign, and just remember how LA is. You know, you can pay the blogs to say anything. Media outlets can't say anything. You have to realize how Hollywood is, how these people are. You know, people on payroll that can write anything. And if you realize nobody has been able to look up, have access to the police report in the public, it's just one-sided report, it's just this, it's just that. Not even I can access the court records. So I'm looking, I'm like, something ain't adding up here. I have all the information. I can't see the court records. I'm like, something ain't adding up.
What would that happen? Is it because they're celebrities?
Even if that's the case, that's public information, right? It still has to be a jury trial, but no one can seem to see the court filings. They're only putting out bits and pieces of information is coming out from one side of the story. I'm like, this just absolutely don't make sense.
Can I just add something? And listen, I think Tory, I know you guys are not giving him enough credit. He is a musical genius. He is my favorite artist. I love him. He can sing. He can rap. No, he's amazing. I love almost all his songs.
Genius. He really
He's a genius. I'm not gonna
Genius?
lie.
I mean, he's good, a genius. But a genius?
I'm 30 years old. He's more my generation.
Yeah.
He came up from nothing.
He's amazing. He's I would say most of his songs are amazing. I have all his songs. Trust me. But I'm gonna say this too. How come a Canadian who is on parole has a firearm with him? And you know what I'm saying? It just seems like he's very narcissistic. He was on
well, same thing. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Or I'm not parole. I'm sorry. Probation. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem right. It seems like he has that celebrity thing where, he can't be touched, because a lot of them can't be touched. A lot of them, they all have a lot of money, and they get away with a lot of things sometimes. That's how I see it.
Is that true, Lord? Because
I respectfully disagree with that assertion. In California, they don't play that with unregistered firearm, regardless of your celebrity status. None of that. They don't play that kind of games out here with unregistered firearm. That's definitely a no-no. Regardless of talent, I'm just speaking from the perspective of giving a young black man the benefit of the doubt. The evidence is not convincing, and I'm not willing to throw another black man under the bus. It's too easy for us to throw a black man under the bus. We're like, well, because he did this in his past, he's guilty of this today. Absolutely not.
And I would give him
Lord, can I ask you a question?
Wait 1 second, DW. That way right
Lord,
after. Made a
can I ask you a quick question?
Her afterwards.
Could it be a bullet graze? Could the safety have been off and it accidentally shot her, grazed her foot?
I believe so.
Lord,
I believe.
That's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility.
Right. Okay. Now, my thing is this, right? And I understand what the whole panel is saying. We don't know which way is to the left or to the right of this whole thing, because she could have came out and said, hey, he shot me, this and that. Her story has changed. But with DV, we have heard plenty of stories change. Let's keep it real, right? But then on the opposite side, we have heard a lot of people who did something always deny it, right? But as far as his defense, couldn't he simply get a medical person say it was no bullet that hit her in the foot, Lloyd?
That's plausible also. But if you observe the major reporting, what are you seeing? Everybody, all the major outlets, Tory did this, Tory did this, Tory did this. I get it. Domestic violence is horrible. But once again, I am of the inclination that it's the right thing to give black men the benefit of the doubt. And I'm just not willing to accept that. It doesn't convince me. Knowing how police operate out here, no. Nobody.
Right. No. I get it. But you saying that you was an expert at all this. If the bullet goes in, it's there, right? Shouldn't it be for his defense to say, no, I never shot her. She never got hit with a bullet.
But
Lloyd?
Remember, there is a gag order.
No. You don't understand what I'm saying, Sharrell?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying this, right?
It seems like, because he never came out and said, I never had a gun. I absolutely never shot her. He keeps skating around
exactly.
it. Something happening.
They both do. They both skate, and she'll go do her thing, right? But what I'm saying is for Lloyd, what I was saying was, if you could take analysts and take all this stuff and pinpoint, this is not a bullet wound, wouldn't that save him?
Yes,
Probably are going to come out with that at trial.
You have to remember how California operates is that, look, if there's domestic violence involved and there's a gag order, you're on thin ice right there. And obviously, he can't speak about the case publicly or anything like that. So, like I said, there's some stories that's not adding up, but based off procedure and what I know, it just does not make sense to me.
Okay. So you said.
Perry, go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I have to wrap it up because it's late and we got the mod
Right.
So what are your last words, Perry?
No, I was going to say, look, this is what I seriously think. I think this, right? I'm understanding both sides. Her story keeps changing, but we also know that happens a lot in DV. Mm-hmm. A person want to protect their person. He did this to me. This happened, but I want to save my investment, right? It could be to a rapper, just a guy working a normal job or whatever, right? But what I'm saying is, as far as what Lloyd's saying, if it's not a bullet, if the bullet never hit her foot, forensics should be able to show that.
Well, everything, a lot. I'm thinking. Listen, we're all going off of what went down in front of a grand jury. It will come out more details, and we'll be back here again because I'm covering the trial, discussing day by day what went down. So,
Sharrell, can I say my last bit because I have to get off? Is it okay?
Yeah.
To say? My final thoughts are I believe that women as a whole are obviously suffer from domestic violence. I feel like the most underprotected women are Black women, but I do feel as if I feel that this will all play out in court, right? I believe that something may have happened. They're both, young people. They were both at a party. Maybe they were drunk. Maybe something did happen. Maybe he did. She is a victim of domestic violence. Maybe he is innocent. We should let the jury, we should see all the evidence, wait for it to play out and not condemn anyone. But we should listen more to women, especially Black women, when they come out and they're hurt. We need to protect them more. That's it.
And for the record, you are not African American, right?
No, I'm Latin, but I'm a woman of color, right? And also I don't feel like I need to be a Black woman to understand that Black women go through stuff. I mean, there's plenty of Black women on the panel today that were talking about it, their perspectives. Yeah. All I have to do is sit back and listen,
Good for you. What are your last words, DW? Sorry.
Just real quick. I want to say for Naomi, I understand where you're coming from when you said you grew up with him. I get it. I dated a jeweler. He's from New York City. He works with all the rappers. I dated him when he had nothing. Okay. Now he's very popular. And when I met him, he was
Jacob?
the best.
Huh? No, just kidding. Jacob?
No, not Jacob. Okay. He's friends with him, but he's very up and coming, and he works with a lot of rappers. He's very, very popular now. Mm-hmm. I know him for 3 years. He changed so much. That lifestyle is drugs, alcohol, fast money. Yeah. It's a different world, and people
That's
change.
The world we came from. That's the world he came from before he got famous. Like his brother was the one who put him on, who put him in the game because his brother was rich from selling drugs in Brampton in our city. Mm-hmm. And I respect everyone's opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. I just know from when I first heard the story breaking, I was suspicious as hell.
And Naomi, you're not a first-time caller. I remember you calling in a lot.
Yes, I'm always here, girl.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm on a time schedule. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Tory. Thank you, BW.
Thank you.
Do
Thank
this
you
again
so
because I am covering this trial. Take care, guys.
Bye.
You too, Lola. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Always a pleasure.
Okay. Take care. Okay. Okay, I gotta wrap it up here, end it here. As I said, I will be following this case. Time will tell what's going on. So this is very interesting. I wanted to thank everyone for your super chat. You don't have to support the channel, you do, so I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Gabor, any last words?
No last words.
Harry?
No, I will say this real quick. I'll try to anyway. Naomi, I understand what she's saying. I mean, it can go either way. Let it roll its course.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, guys. On 3, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye.